Welcome back to Know Your Universe. Today we're going to be explaining the Jessica Drew version of Spider-Woman. Now, like I asked last time, please list anything down below that confuses you about the comic book universe. Anything from legends to lore to the origins of superheroes to generic things like the Baxter Building. We'll answer them all, and when we start to craft the next script in the series, we'll be looking through your comments. So this brings us to the question that we were asked. Who is Spider-Woman, and why does she always pop up in the background of the Avengers comics? Now, before we can go into her origin, I think you need to understand why she was created. Back in the late 1970s, Stan Lee was concerned with losing the copyrights to characters they may want to use eventually, so they created Spider-Woman for a single issue of the Marvel Spotlight to ensure that they had the copyright good to go in case they ever wanted to get back to it. The original Spider-Woman was actually a spider evolved into a human. Now, in Earth 616, this version of Jessica Drew has the powers of the increased strength, agility, and stamina that most spider people seem to have. She can also shoot venom blasts out of her hands as she builds up energy inside of her, and she can stick to walls. She's also immune to any form of contaminant. Now, during the Skrull invasion, she gained the ability to fly, and it's unspecified to what extent she can actually do this. The most interesting power she has, though, is her pheromones, as they can be used to create great fear in somebody or attract someone or repel them. This power is so strong that she can actually use it to control the Hulk and force him to make her a sandwich. Now, early in her lifespan, it would seem like no one knew what to do with this character, and that was revealed sadly in her print history. Right from her beginnings, things were a little clueless, so let's look at her history before we can go to where she is now. Originally, it was revealed that she wasn't actually a spider evolved into a woman, but those were implanted memories by Hydra. She then spent a period in which she scared everybody she knew until it was written in that this was due to her pheromone ability causing fear in people. But as time went on, the public saw her as nothing more than a cash grab on Spider-Man, and even with an animated TV series in her name, she never became the top seller that Marvel was really hoping her to become. So by issue 20, things were already getting rocky with rotating writers and artists. Due to this, everything that made her unique was basically thrown out, and she was put up against criminal masterminds and stuck with the normal love interest who loves the costume but has no idea it's her routine that we see quite frequently. This ended up getting heavily criticized because everything that made her unique was gone and the fans started to leave. To make matters worse for her, at issue 32 the writers were swapped out again and now she was a private investigator. With sales continuing to plummet, the series was getting criticism for the rotating writers, so Marvel canceled the book at issue 50. They actually killed her off in the finale, and then due to the fan uproar, she was revived in issue 240 and 241 of the Avengers. After that, she got shuffled off to guest appearances for about 4 years. It would be almost 10 years before Mark Gruenwald tried to bring her back as a team-up character for Spider-Man. He wrote it into one issue, but before he could write any follow-up issues, he passed away sadly, and her return was written off as being non-canon. After a few more appearances, she would eventually be written in as a title member of the New Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis. Now, this is the most recent version of Spider-Woman to continue onward, and the one that you end up seeing as a background character. Her origin was slightly different also. This time around, she got her powers from her mother's womb being hit by a laser beam containing the DNA traits of several spiders. The goal was to take the spider traits and graft them to the human genome. Well, after her parents went missing, she was recruited by Hydra and trained under Taskmaster. Eventually, she learns of Hydra's true nature after trying to assassinate Nick Fury. Shortly after that, she was recruited into the New Avengers, but after 4 years of working on the team, it was revealed that in Secret Invasion, it wasn't actually Jessica Drew, and she has been held captive by the Skrulls ever since she joined the New Avengers. She did return properly and take her place from her imposter on the Avengers though, but that all happened after the Secret Invasion. After that, she got a limited run solo series, but overall, the poor girl is back to being on the supporting cast for what seems like almost every Avengers book. As of right now, she is a regular on the Secret Avengers though, so here's to hoping that she can actually get back to being a top seller for Marvel. It really comes down to if they can find a good role for her and they don't just start to shuffle her around forever again. Now, what makes Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman interesting is that she is one of the many characters to get a complete rewrite to the point of not even being the same character in the Ultimate Universe. In the Ultimate Universe, she's actually a carbon copy clone of Peter Parker Spider-Man. But she's a girl. Yep, in that universe, she is introduced in the Clone Saga as a female clone of Parker. She has all of his memories and powers and is supposed to eventually be used by the CIA as their own spider person. But before Cassandra Webb can give her the fake memories to make her officially Jessica Drew, she fled and kept all of her memories of her actually being Peter Parker. What's weird though is that she was actually considered a transsexual character since she basically is just Peter Parker in a girl's body. Now over time she eventually took the name of Jessica Drew, and following the Clone Saga, Marvel got iffy as to what to do with her, so she more or less got shoved off to being a background character again. They were so iffy in using her because of the whole idea of her being a transsexual character that when Peter Parker actually died in that series, they didn't even allow her to come back and even say a few words. You would think if the person I was cloned after just got killed, I would at least show up and be like, oh wow, that sucks. But nope, Marvel was too iffy about it. Now with the recent Ultimate Spider-Man issues, she has pretty much forgotten most of Parker's memories and officially has stated that she doesn't know who or what she is anymore, and she's an assistant to Miles Morales practically. Well, that's pretty much where Jessica Drew Spider-Woman is at this time. And if you have any other questions about the Marvel Universe, do not hesitate to ask them in the comments down below. Like I said, I go digging through these comments because I go looking for things to answer for you guys. Now, I'm going to get back to finishing the Infinity storyline and getting you guys that story out so that our Marvel Universe timeline is all complete. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time right here at Comicstorian.